I think it ultimately came down to the fact that just, the Eagles understood the assignment. They understood the game. They got a break early that probably colored in how they were going to play the game the rest of the way. And were they great? No. Do I feel great about the way they won the football game? No. I mean, if that's Kellen Moore's best game plan, I don't feel great about it. But
do the Eagles wake up and feel great about being, getting a win at home, having another home game coming up against the winner of tonight's game? I mean, you have to love a playoff win no matter what.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah. But let's be honest.
It was a little ugly.
This Packers team to me was not ready. They limped into the playoffs. You lose Christian Watson. The way they played at times down the stretch this season, the way the quarterbacks played, and quite frankly, it just continued. And I think a lot of it had to do with his arm. But I don't think this team was anywhere close to the standard that the Eagles should play to.
Yeah.
And so there is a piece of me that's like, hey, listen, you got to get together because the next team that might come in town is not going to be. And I thought Jeff Hafley did a great job this year. And each of those teams that are going to play tonight pose individual challenges for the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Rams, the passing game.
Yep.
Now I think you can smash the football on the Rams.
Agreed.
I think you can come at that front.
I think the Eagles are going to need to play great defense.
Yeah, it's going to be a defensive game.
Yes.
Which, you know what? If you want to talk about the strength of this team, I mean, for so many years, the strength of the team has been the offensive line in the run game.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, the defense is right there right now.
Defense was unbelievable.
And I'll say this, Nolan Smith.
Dog.
I'm so happy to see his transition to being a real guy complete. And he completes it. I mean, I think now we can say he's arrived. I don't love him with his hand on the ground. When you motion a tight end over and he's on 5 technique, he's not like a true defensive end.
Right.
But as an overhang player, one thing I've been very complimentary of this year with him has been setting edges.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a play early in that game where Elton Jenkins came to kick him out, and he gave him a dead arm.
Yeah.
I mean, this
game.
This motherfucker.
That single-handedly changed the game because that started the whole O-line carousel for the Green Bay, and that I feel like was a big part that kind of probably ruined their game plan.
Well, he whooped Zack Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Tom is a good player. Tom is a good player.
If you're an Eagles fan and you like this kid, you really like what you saw yesterday. He was all over the field. Zack Baun, he's got something new up his sleeve every week. He makes plays in a lot of different ways.
Yep. He almost. I mean, he had a chance of getting a pick. I think he got tipped a little bit and then came back and Jordan Love threw him the ball right to him.
No, I mean, hey, listen. Really physical team.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about the life preserver that they have when things get sketchy. They've got those guys up front. I can pull out numerous, examples of that front beating up on those guys.
Yeah, that's actually my game ball, man. Like we haven't done any
front.
mentions yet, but it was so fun for us, Chris. We got to chop it up with Lane after the game. Got to go on the field. Chris mentioned with his boys, see Jordan, Malata, talk to Jergy a little bit. Kels was there, so it's like. It's just fun and dude, that fucking O-line is so good, but they're all also such good dudes. It's the best O-line in the NFL.
Saw Stout before the game.
Saw Stout before the game, and Stout is just as intense as he is and as dialed as he is on game day. For him to come up to us and kind of give us some love was really cool. So my game ball for this weekend is the Eagles O-line. I just think they're incredible. Mekhi Becton played really well too. I love Landon Dickerson.
And we didn't even mention Dallas Goedert being back.
He was a fucking dog. Yeah.
That's a 60-foot public transportation ride.
Valentine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Little brother to him.
Yeah.
It's like the hollow man of this game for me is I know Jordan played really badly, but if you think about going for a ride like that, when you go for a 3-yard ride in the NFL, it feels like you're in slow motion.
Yeah.
It feels like the whole country's watching you.
20.
There's games where I'm like, what?
He went 20.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That had to feel like an eternity. And the minute Goddard goes in the end zone and the roof comes off the place, in my head at least, I'd be like, man, I'm getting cooked right now. Across America.
Cooked. Adrian Braun.
Barbecued.
Yeah.
He's still going to be on that ride.
Xavier McKinney.
I don't think he's
came up
gotten off.
Yeah, did you see that McKinney talking to him on the sideline?
What'd he say?
What were you doing? What was going on?
Yeah.
Because it's just
I feel bad for McKinney. He played really well this year.
Yeah.
And he just keeps losing to the Eagles.
He
That's what he-
calmly asked him what he was doing, and then walked away and slammed his helmet on the bench.
What are you doing?
Like what happened?
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things. It's like, hey, playing nose guard, playing in the zero. Like, there's gonna be times guys might be taking you on a ride, but
Yeah.
you have to know when to take your losses and
That's
just
right.
fall, make a pile, be a speed bump, trip them up, do anything.
Yeah.
Just an ugly ass game. And to Bo's point, like, you know, you'll take them all.
Yeah.
But I do think there are things you have to work. That's not going to be good enough. Now, I think it was good enough to win yesterday, and they probably knew that, especially with the script was carrying out. And I would say this, Josh Jacobs, I got a lot of respect for
good.
that dude.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, he gets lost in the shuffle a lot. People talking about Derrick Henry's
Yep.
movement to Baltimore and Saquon to Philly. That guy going to Green Bay totally gave them a different dimension this year. And, you know, it's one of the most disappointing moments of the game. I don't know why he's not out there on 3rd and 3 when they give the ball to the backup running back and he gets stuffed. Great play by Jalen Carter. That sets up the Malik Heath sideline play, which, hey, listen, that's part of the danger of playing that way for the Eagles is if you end up with him converting there, he's driving with a chance to make it a 1 field goal game.
How big a problem is the loss of Nakobe Dean going forward?
It's a big problem.
Well, that Chris
It is a
talked
big
about Nolan
problem.
Smith earlier and how he's kind of coming on. It's really fun to see young players take that jump. So for him to have a good game against talented dude and Tom for the Packers online, I think he had like 6 tackles. I saw him at
8.
PFL. He had 8 tackles, 2 sacks.
Yeah.
Get that confidence in the playoffs against a good offensive lineman, and then, you know, hopefully it just kind of spurts you to some more playing time with that injury. And I'm hoping that he can kind of slide right in and.
Yeah,
it'd
but
be
you know they're gonna
effective.
need like I'm trying to think of who the backup is, Oren Burks to step up. You know, which is he's got some experience. He's played in San Francisco.
The
Will he be
Packers went
green
right
dotted?
after him. I mean, there was that completion to the back right
They
away.
came right
Yeah.
after him as soon as Buddy left the game. Nakobe Dean.
Right.
I think Nakobe's been so good on early downs.
Mhm.
Like, listen, when you're at home and you play like Minnesota, you want Sam Darnold in 3rd and very long. Like, you feel like you can win those situations. And for me, like losing Nakobe, it's a good point bringing him up. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that can hurt you. In the NFL today, good linebackers, we kind of went through a deal where we were like, oh, linebackers not very valuable and that sort of thing. Like, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
especially against the offenses these days and against like a Kevin O'Connell offense.
Yeah.
If that's who they play,
Mhm.
that's a big deal. So, you know, he's made so many plays knifing in and creating 2nd and long,
Right.
creating negatives. You know, good on him having a great year, but that's a tough time to get hurt.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yes.
He's such a good dude though. Like I saw him put a message out and like talk about his injury briefly. Like, yeah, it sucks, but like, hey, we got unfinished business.
Yeah,
I mean, I love that.
no question.